Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season, we'll be discussing a dark academia bully romance series known for its smutty content, billed as a Harry Potter for adults, and touted by many on Book Talk and Bookstagram as an ACOTAR hangover remedy. That's right, we're headed to Solaria.
Welcome to Zodiac Academy. Note to students, vampire bites, loss of limbs, or getting lost in the Wailing Woods will not count as a valid excuse for being late to class or this podcast.
We'll be diving into the Zodiac Academy books and discussing the text, our theories, reviews, and predictions. Also, feel free to send us your thoughts and theories, and as they might be featured on the show.
Just be warned, this podcast is rated R and there will be spoilers for all books. Please be warned. But first, let's introduce ourselves.
So, my name's Lily. Nice to meet the listeners. I am the youngest of the three of us. I am super into K-pop. I also really love fantasy books. I tend to skip around in the types of books that I read. I will read an ebook and then move to the physical book and then move to the audiobook throughout the day if I have the ability to do so. I don't always have access to all of them, but I also think right now my favorite series is the Mercy Thompson series in terms of books. I'm also a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And what else? I love all things makeup. I'm very much like a girly girl, and I enjoy different kinds of books like nonfic, fantasy, mystery, thriller, all kinds of stuff, but we're probably going to be just discussing mostly fantasy on this podcast.
I'm Christy. I'm the oldest. Back when TV was invented. I'm just kidding. I'm not quite that old. I like all kinds of books, fiction, nonfiction. I do like my nonfiction audio, and then fiction. I like the book for the most part. To read, I like all types. I like thrillers. I like mystery. Actually, until I met Brittany and Lily, I wasn't as much into fantasy, so that's been kind of a new thing. And Lord knows we've jumped down that rabbit hole with abandon. So definitely catching up on that. Before that, probably like Kay Hooper was one of my favorite authors. She's also insanely nice too. If you ever want to email her. Anyways, also love One Way and love animals. So I think that is me.
I'm Brittany. I am into fantasy, sci-fi, and mysteries. If it doesn't have some kind of magic or space adventure or murdered body, I'm not into it. My favorite author is definitely Ilona Andrews. I will read anything that they write. I am also very much a movie buff. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I loved Buffy growing up. I'm also the middle child. As in real life, I'm the middle child. We are definitely crafters.
And we like to do book-related crafts.
Definitely a book-related crafts. I would own more than one Cricut if I had the money. On a more serious note, I am a type 1 diabetic, so representation there. I am also, I do love to bake every once in a while, which fits with my last name. But anyway, I do also want to tell the story of us. So we all work at the library together, and Lily and I have been working together longer. And then Christy joined us, and we were thrilled. And Lily decided to read Fourth Wing. I am the type of person who I have to have the whole series to binge. I wait until it's all out. But because she read it and she was loving it, I was like, oh, I'll read it too. And we had so much fun reading it together and then talking about it that we were like, oh, that we have to do that again. And then we talked Christy into reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. And we were watching her read it. And then Lily was like, we should read it too. And so we went from A Court of Thorns and Roses to From Blood and Ash to Throne of Glass to Fourth Wing to Crescent City and now Zodiac Academy.
And a few others in between.
Yeah. And when we were reading ACOTAR, like I feel like our coworkers and our patrons could tell the joy that it brought us because they were like, oh, well, I need to read this book too. We would talk about it to anybody, any chance that we got. We were always like, oh, and remember this?
And what about this? And what about this theory? Oh, and it connects to this theory. And we just had such a fun time, like all talking about it together that we were like, maybe we should record it.
Yes. I'm also an audiobook reader.
Yeah, you read the audiobooks, and like I said, I jump around, and Christy likes to read the physical books more. So we kind of have this weird equal representation that sometimes benefits us and sometimes doesn't for different book types, I guess, which helps us find the similarities and differences between reading.
Yes, it also helps us help the readers.
Yeah. So we hope that you tune in. All of our podcast episodes are going to be dropping every Tuesday at midnight.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.